So now we can finally sit down after the raid and have a discussion about what has happened, this major news about Activision Blizzard. It's been acquired by Microsoft. I couldn't believe it. In fact, it was really distracting to raid while I had this information. Okay, let me find the first. Let's start at the beginning. This is the first post, the press release from Microsoft themselves. Microsoft to acquire Activision Blizzard to bring the joy and community of gaming to everyone across every device with so could this mean WoW coming to Xbox? I think this first thing probably comes to mind. Hey, maybe that's why recently they had been whittling down the rotations to be like 5 or 6 buttons so that it would be easier to play on Xbox. I'm kidding. Okay, I'm kidding. That's a joke. That's a joke. With 3 billion people actively playing games today and fueled by a new generation steeped in the joys of interactive entertainment, gaming is now the largest and fastest growing form of entertainment. Today, Microsoft Corp announced plans to acquire Activision Blizzard, a leader in game development and interactive entertainment content. Publisher, this acquisition will accelerate the growth in Microsoft's gaming business. This means Microsoft will become the world's 3rd largest gaming company by revenue, behind Tencent and Sony. So this is a behemoth corporation now. And I'm remembering whenever they bought Elder Scrolls Online. I mean, well, they bought not just all, obviously they bought all of Bethesda. And thinking back to it, doesn't seem like a lot actually changed for Elder Scrolls Online, but I mean, what could they have done? I think right now you can actually buy Elder Scrolls Online. You can get it through the Microsoft Game Pass. Let me double check. Let me double check this really quickly. Yeah, so you can get access to Elder Scrolls Online with the Xbox Game Pass. Now, this also does include 10% off of all Crown Pack purchases in the Xbox Game Store. But they had that before they joined with Microsoft. They had the Crown Pack purchases before they joined. So I don't think that's something to go crazy about. There really is a question of like how much direct involvement will Microsoft have over the company and what's happening with Bobby? What is the deal with Bobby? So I think that there was another article about this I wanted to check. This is really just all PR stuff, this official press release. I will put a link to it though, if you want. So just we can keep track of everything that we're looking at. Phil likes to be hands-off. Didn't Phil... Hold on, let me turn the music down a little bit. It's quite loud. Okay. Am I wrong, or didn't Phil make a comment on Bobby Kotick's behavior lately? Yeah, Phil Spencer speaks out after Bobby Kotick's allegations, saying Xbox is evaluating its relationship with Activision. Yeah, I remember. This was November 19th. And when we heard this, we were all like, oh, watch out, Activision. Because of Bobby Kotick being such a shithead, now they're going to cut ties with you. But it seems like what they meant by evaluating their relationship was that they want to just take over. The thing is, if they're letting Bobby stay, this is... Okay, what did he say exactly? He said, Xbox is evaluating all aspects of our relationship with Activision Blizzard and making ongoing proactive adjustments. This is following reports that Kotick has known about misconduct at the company for years, as well as allegations against Kotick himself being detailed by the Wall Street Journal. Spencer remarked that he and the leadership team at Microsoft are disturbed and deeply troubled by the horrific events and actions at Activision Blizzard, and that this type of behavior has no place in our industry. That's what I thought. He didn't give concrete details about what Xbox is. So So this is horrific, and this type of behavior has no place in our industry. That's all good. That's all good to hear. But you're gonna let him keep his job. Let's double check on this. Let's double check to see what's the situation. Because I think I saw that Jason Schreier was tweeting about this. Yeah, he was. Okay. So. Yeah, he was tweeting about Bobby. This is oh my God, this is a rapidly developing situation. There is a lot here. $70 billion, by the way. That was the value of this deal. $70 billion. I guess it's the Candy Crush money. It's gotta be. Microsoft PR said Bobby Kotick will continue to serve as CEO of Activision Blizzard. Once the deal closes, the Activision Blizzard business will report to Phil Spencer. Not 100% clear yet on whether Bobby will stay on after the ink dries. Now that would make more sense based on what we just heard, Spencer's comments on how horrific and unacceptable his behavior was. So is this something that will only happen after? This is very vague. This is very vague. Was there anything else? Do we have any other information? An excerpt from Bobby Kotick's email to staff today. Transactions like these can take a long time to complete until we receive all the necessary approvals and other customer, which we expect to be sometime in Microsoft's fiscal 2023 year ending. We will continue to operate completely autonomously. I will continue as our CEO with the same passion and enthusiasm I had when I began this journey in 1901. Yo, that sounds like he is going to be gone with the, like after, it sounds to me like he can't, it seems like he can't directly say. It's certainly, oh yeah, okay, let me just keep reading. I'm proud of the company, you, and the work we've done together. Okay. All right, now it's on to our next chapter. Yeah. Yeah, your next chapter, especially, and endless possibilities. I'm hoping, and this transaction represents for us. I couldn't be more appreciative of your efforts, focus, and the dedication to connecting the world through joy. Joy and fun. Oh yeah, I remember him saying that in that terrifying monologue that he gave. I remember him talking about joy and fun before. Yeah. Joy and fun. So to me, now it sounds like he couldn't be completely clear about it. He couldn't say, yes, I'm leaving after this Microsoft's like around 2023, but it seems to me like that's likely what's going to be happening. Here it says, so Kotick can't get removed until after the deal is done in 2023. So yeah, connecting the world through joy and fun is a bit of a different tone than he had after Activision bought Blizzard. Wait, what? What's this? So someone had asked Bobby, what do you think the retailer's willingness these days is to hold inventory on the video game side? Are they building positions today, or are they still very reluctant and very careful of how they're buying? He said, I don't think it's specific to video games. I think that if you look at how much volatility there is in the economy, depending on your view about macroeconomic picture, and I think we have a real culture of thrift, I think the goal that I had in bringing a lot of packaged goods folks that we brought into Activision 10 years ago was to take all the fun out of making video games. Oh yeah, I remember him saying that. I think we definitely have been able to instill the culture, the skepticism and pessimism and fear that you should have in an economy like we are in today. So while generally people talk about the recession, we're pretty good at keeping people focused on the deep depression. Look, there is no shortage of quotes of Bobby Kotick being a complete shithead and him saying that, like, you should not have fun making video games, it's all about money. Like, he's constantly saying this shit. He finally got smart and realized it's better to pay somebody else to write press releases for you because he's such a steaming pile of shit that he cannot write anything without coming off as like a demon. So he didn't write this, okay? He didn't write any of this. That's why it sounds more or less normal. While monopolies, this is all from Jason. While monopolies are undoubtedly bad news for the video game industry, yes, this is a big concern that we should have. This acquisition could have some positive effects for Blizzard culturally and strategically. Under Activision, every game had to be a billion-dollar franchise. Under Xbox, that will likely change. Look, it seems like it would be really positive for World of Warcraft if they could pay the staff properly, if they could not lay off people that are testing the game, if they could hire enough people and pay them well enough to excel at their jobs instead of cutting costs at every corner. But I feel like that's not going to change until Bobby Kotick is gone, because he's the one that was making these decisions. I don't know what kind of he did in Bobby's email that we just read. Bobby said that they're going to be operating autonomously until this transfer acquisition completely goes through. So before that, what kind of changes can we expect? Is this literally all just going to be for the next year moving of paperwork and nothing real happening, no real change happening? Or will there be some oversight from Activision? I don't know. But at least it seems like, you know, maybe World of Warcraft can have enough funding to pay the people that are working on the game so they don't have to go on strike. Bobby's ultimate goal, other than to get away with everything he did, was to turn Blizzard into another Activision studio, cranking out yearly hits under Xbox. Well, I mean, that's possible if you pay the people that are working there. Under Xbox, Blizzard may be able to regain some of its autonomy and fix some big problems. Maybe. Is that a copium? Because, I mean, I want to believe that too. Important to also note here that many of Blizzard's issues were entirely self-inflicted and had nothing to do with Activision, including sexual misconduct and discrimination. Well, that's all water under the bridge now, isn't it? What matters is what happens next. It doesn't matter, was it Activision, was it Blizzard? What matters is what will happen from now on. What changes can we expect now? Who can get fired? Like, will there be the restructuring that this company so badly needs? Activision CEO Bobby Kotick is out once. Oh, no, it looks like. Okay, this is not a confirmation. Again, this is not a confirmation. It's just what it looks like, what it seems. Is this really the situation? We don't actually know that. You know what? I kind of feel like, to me, it's a bit weird that they didn't make an official announcement about Bobby leaving, since that is such a PR problem. Why wouldn't they, like, my fear is that they don't want to make that announcement because they are saying to Bobby, oh, maybe you can turn things around. We're going to watch your performance until the deal is completely finalized, and then. Yeah, I just hope that with Xbox Game Pass, I mean, having the game on Xbox Game Pass could be good. Having more funding for the game could be good. But what other stuff could potentially come to the game? We have absolutely no clue. Didn't hear about NFTs yet. Ooh, that's a good question. That's a good question. Did he say anything about it? Okay, what does Phil Spencer think about NFTs? This is a good question. Xbox doesn't want anything to do with exploitative NFTs, says Phil Spencer. I think we're going to be on the right track. I think World of Warcraft might be okay. I think this might be the change that WoW needs right now. He's not a fan. He's made clear his stance on NFTs. He is not sold on the idea of them. What I'd say today on NFT All Up is I think there's a lot of speculation and experimentation that's happening, and that some of the creative that I see today feels more exploitive than about entertainment. imagine having somebody in charge of the development of World of Warcraft that can tell the difference between what's exploitative and what's entertainment. I mean, he's not going to be actively involved in the development. He's not a dev. But what I'm saying is he's going to be in a major leadership position, able to say no to decisions like this, like NFTs. Now, this is unfortunately a problem that we all have to be concerned about in games right now because the NFT space is exploding. I don't think it necessitates that every NFT game is exploitative. I just think we're in that journey of people figuring it out. Okay, and I can understand that early on you see a lot of things that probably are not things you want to have in your store. Well, overall, I think anything, okay, he also said, I think anything that we looked at in our storefront that we said is exploitative would be something that we would, you know, take action on. We don't want that kind of content. You don't want that kind of content. I mean, that's good, but there's another question of like, where do you draw the line at what is exploitative and what isn't? Still, this is all generally good to hear, okay? It's generally positive, and I think I'm feeling more optimistic than pessimistic about this. Obviously, there's some concerns about Microsoft being a huge behemoth monopoly corporation, but I think that looking at a game like Elder Scrolls Online, where the store hasn't really changed much, I feel like there are some marketing tactics used in that game to promote the cash shop that are aggressive, that are, like, I feel like they're exploitative. But, I mean, maybe I just draw the line a little bit sooner than he does, but at least someone is drawing the line somewhere, Copium. I mean, so. What do you think? Actually, we should do a poll. We should do a poll. Overall, it seems like, according to our very scientific poll that we've done here, we think it's good. And I agree. I think it's good. I'm happy about it. If I worked at Activision Blizzard, I would be happy about it. Because I would feel like maybe some real change will occur. Because before this, it really felt like we were just not making any progress at all. Like, before this, it kind of did feel like massive revolutionary change is going to be needed at Activision Blizz for things to get better, because things have just not been getting better. They've been getting worse and worse and worse. And every time I turn around, there's some new horrible news about the company. So maybe drastic change is the only thing that's going to get us out of the situation. The deal's the largest in the history of the gaming industry, breaking the record set just days earlier when Take-Two Interactive, the creator of games like Grand Theft Auto, purchased the mobile game publisher Zynga for more than $11 billion. This is massive. So the previous biggest deal was $11 billion, which is nothing compared to the $70 billion they paid for Activision Blizzard. But they get access to Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Overwatch, Diablo, Candy Crush. What about Hearthstone? And what's that other game? Heroes of the Storm. Look, I like. Is there hope for Heroes of the Storm right now? I wonder what the Heroes of the Storm community is saying right now. Wait. So listen, I went to the Heroes of the Storm subreddit. I looked at the major post, the biggest post about Microsoft. Here's the top comment. It can't get any worse than it is now. So let's see what this brings. Bruh. Oh man, this is sad. So sad. People are like, maybe the game can be shut down. Maybe Microsoft will shut off the servers. Look. It seems easy to add 1 or 2 Microsoft heroes and see if that gets a boost. I was like, I hate to laugh because I love this game, actually. I loved Heroes of the Storm. So, Copium is probably strongest here. Master Chief in Heroes. I mean, it's actually a pretty great idea. The only big concern that I feel is that I think this is a really cynical take. A really cynical way you can look at this is that for years, a lot of WoW players had this feeling like the game had been sort of selling out for the shareholders, and that one day when the shareholders were done doing all of their damage, they would sell to the highest bidder and basically like squeeze the company dry, like parasitically, until they could sell it for the most amount of money, like sell it right whenever they felt like their investments were starting to depreciate, and then at that point get out and move on to the next business, sort of like a swarm of locusts does. And maybe, I don't know if that's actually what's happened. Are they wrong? Time will tell. Monopoly in any business, especially in the creative sector, is never a good thing. Yeah, you're right. We really can't overlook that. Like, I think I really, really want there to be some positive change there. And I want World of Warcraft to thrive and do better and succeed and like regain some of its player base. Yeah. So because I really, really want those things, I think I'm a little bit biased about this, and I'm maybe trying to see more good in the situation than I should, but that's just how I see it. I mean, I can't change my perspective, my emotions about the situation. I want to be hopeful. I think Phil Spencer is not insane, and he said some really good things about how unacceptable the situation has been in Activision. He said some good things about being against NFTs, so yeah, what's the alternative to a buyout, though? Blizzard shrivels into nothing? I mean, it kind of feels like that too, doesn't it? It feels like without this, things have kind of been going downhill for a while. And is it hopium? I don't know. We just have to keep an eye on the situation and see what happens.